Hello, my name is Infinity, and today I'm going to be making a medieval house in Minecraft. This is kind of an improvised build because I haven't built anything like this beforehand in a creative world, so I'm just kind of going off of my knowledge and trying to make something work. So I'm doing my usual, starting with the base and the foundations, like frame and like the bottom of the house. I decided to make it, instead of like a T shape, more like an L shape, except for it doesn't really look like an L, it looks like a flag. But I'm gonna try and do like a 2-story building with this interesting like connecting bit in the middle, which uses staircases and slabs, which then you can place the frame on. So I'm just kind of going along, basically making a big frame on top of it and filling in the walls again. And for some reason I decided to start with the roof already, even though half of the build foundations aren't completely done. I decided to use the block kind of method, which I used in my previous video, Improving a Villager House, which will have a card at the top right of the screen, which, yeah, it's there. You can go click that after the video is done, of course, or it could be on the actual bit, I'm not sure. So I've tried to add like a bit of detail onto the side of the roof. You might just think, wait, that just looks like a basic noob roof, which it kind of does at the moment. So I'm going to try and add a bit of detail. Basically I'm copying the roof off the other video, but like slightly bigger onto this build instead. So I'm going with the bit that kind of dips into the middle, and with the front of the house I've decided to make a separate roof, as I always do. Kind of make it like a jaggedy curve, so it's like not completely like a sphere, but it's like the same kind of shape. And this is the point where I kind of realized, oh, I messed up the roof, and I managed to do that bit off camera. I realized I had the block too far backwards, it needed to be on top of the frame, and I've just literally done the same thing, added a couple of flicks onto the end, and just added a bit of blocks and slabs into half stairs as well. So I'm kind of doing the same on the roof there, adding a bit of cobblestone around the side. I added a bit more detail to the side. I didn't like the way it looked, and also it isn't overhanging right now, so that gives me like quite a lot of depth in the roof, which is sometimes quite hard to deal with. So I kind of have the outside layer and then the inside layer, which is the bit at the cross, and then the two bits coming off of it. And I've gone with instead of just stair underneath the blocks, I decided to make the two of the stairs like the correct way up vertical, so it kind of adds a bit more of a pattern to it, which kind of helps when you're trying to add a bit of detail into the build. So I'm going on to the main bit of the roof at the front and just kind of filling in the gaps and the blocks, just so it kind of matches with the rest. And yeah, there we go. There's the block in there, kind of polishing off the sides. And I'm gonna start adding the frame, like the detailed frame. So this one is just kind of a simple diagonal up the side of the frames. I've made it out of spruce because if I had logs it would look a bit odd. And spruce is pretty similar to logs, and it goes well with stairs and slabs, so I can make it diagonal. I'm adding the front bit. With all three of my builds so far, I've used this kind of entrance kind of trick, which is like the stairs and the walls and the lanterns and then the door, which I think kind of looks neat. It's not too much, but then it looks nice as well. So I'm kind of adding in some windows just to kind of fill in the space, obviously. I had a couple of ideas, I just wanted to try them out. I'm gonna use the azalea leaves this time as a bit of detail. It kind of makes the house look a little bit more modern than the previous one. I guess this is kind of like an upgrade it does look a little bit like a Tudor house, which I originally built and then decided I'd probably try and change it just so it looks a bit more like the original, because I had concrete as the top layer and I've kind of kept it the same as stone in this one. I'm adding a bit of detail now to the windows as well with the white stained glass. It kind of makes it look a bit more old and like rustic, which is good because this is a rustic build. So I decided to change that one just to 1x3 and then some kind of shutters, I guess you could say, and a bit of a windowsill. And I had a lot of space to work with on the side, because when you're building these types of houses you tend to have these large flat areas, and because the wall isn't completely flat from top to bottom, because there's the upper layer that's extruded out a little bit, you can't really add a separate section onto the side. It makes it really hard to make it look good and detailed. So I've done the tricks I've done on the previous house with the logs and the spruce stairs to kind of make it like weave a little bit, and I also saw this trick as well online, which is where you can use these stairs and kind of add a bit more depth to your walls by kind of alternating them up and down. And I'm going to add some detail onto the other side of the wall now. Same with the frames, just kind of adding a bit of oak logs and spruce stairs to it. And I wasn't actually completely sure what I was going to do on this upper bit, because again there was so much space and I didn't want to make it completely the same as the other one. And while I was building this, I actually decided, wait a minute, I'm going to destroy that. And I'm going to make the bottom bits of spruce match up with the top bits of spruce. So it looks like the frame is kind of weaving up the sections. So it kind of looks like it's the same frame, but on the two sides of the wall. I added a small window in there, which is quite hard, because of the small gap that there was to put it in. Same trick with the azalea and the oak trapdoors. And I decided on this one, which I did on the mangrove build a while back, which is the spruce trapdoors and the sweet berries, which kind of makes it look like an alternation to the azalea ones. Added a bit more frame onto the side here, and the stair trick at the bottom as well. But something just looked wrong with this build. I don't know, it just looked a bit empty. So I went ahead and added some detailing and some textures to the walls. And if you're really observant, you might be able to see the gradient that I managed to use, where it kind of blends up from the tuff right into gravel and then into stone and andesite and then the wall and the concrete powder, which adds some detail just in itself. And that is a really good way to kind of make your build look that bit better by using a gradient or just some different blocks all together. And well, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate your support. I managed to get over 90 views on my last video, so thank you very much. This idea actually came from the comments section below, so if you do have any ideas, please do tell me and I will probably make a video on them. So thanks again for watching, and I guess I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.